Coronation Street's Mick Michaelis stages a daring jailbreak next week, aiming to flee with his loved ones, but not before settling the score with Kit Green. The ruthless ex-police killer masterminds his breakout from his cell, with covert assistance from Brody on the outside. However, his escape spirals into a chilling standoff, culminating in a brutal clash that leaves Kit critically injured. Brody finds himself in control of both Mick and Kit's destinies, but where does his true loyalty lie? With the man who raised him, or his real father? Brody is determined to reunite his family, shares Ryan Mulvey, who portrays the troubled teen. He believes it's his role as a sibling and as a man. Although Brody has a strong sense of right and wrong and understands Mick's actions are dangerous, he's willing to go to great lengths to protect those he loves. The tension begins to mount as Mick vows to reclaim his family and make Kit pay for what he sees as a betrayal. He persuades Brody to track down Joni and Shanice so they can all escape Weatherfield together. Brody looks up to Mick and hates the idea of letting him down, explains Ryan. He's struggling to accept that Mick might not actually be his real father. It's as though his entire world has fallen apart, and he's not coping well with the truth. Helping Mick flee could land Brody back in the secure training center, but ever since the revelation about Kit, he's been acting more recklessly. With Mick gearing up to break free and make a run for it with his family, Brody stops by the Metcalf's house to pick up his sisters, only to find out that Tim has taken Joni to a trial day at Weatherfield High, where she hopes to start school. Panicked that this could ruin the escape plan, Brody hurriedly rings Mick using a burner phone to alert him, but Mick refuses to let anything stop him and intensifies his breakout attempt. Soon he's out and on the move. Meanwhile, at Weatherfield High, Daniel Osborne is in the middle of a job interview, while poor Joni becomes the target of cruel teasing by classmates over her parents' troubled past. The staff quickly calls Sally to collect a shaken Joni, but moments later, Daniel and head teacher Mrs. Crawshaw are stunned when an unexpected guest shows up at the school. It's Mick. Chaos erupts as Mick storms into the school, demanding to see his daughter and sending shockwaves through both staff and students. A shaken Mrs. Crawshaw nervously informs the unhinged fugitive that Joni has already left with Sally. This news only fuels Mick's rage, and when a courageous Daniel steps in to defuse the situation, both he and the head teacher end up locked inside the office. Still seething, Mick charges off toward the street in pursuit of his daughters, with Kit hot on his heels after being alerted to the unfolding crisis. As Mick arrives on the cobbles and barges into Underworld, tensions boil over into a violent showdown with Kit. The altercation ends with DC Green suffering severe injuries. With Kit rushed into surgery in a fight for his life, Sarah and Bernie keep vigil, praying for his survival. Meanwhile, a torn Brody wrestles with the emotional toll of potentially losing both the father figure he was raised by and the biological dad he's only just come to know. Brody is completely overwhelmed, caught in an intense emotional struggle between Mick and Kit, says Ryan. He's torn, and deep down, I don't think he knows who he wants to come out on top. In the dramatic aftermath of the assault, both Mick and Brody disappear without a trace. Have they managed to flee with Joni and Shanice? And can Kit survive this near-fatal encounter? ITV Coronation Street fans work out Lisa Swain's turmoil after Carla Connor's appearance. Coronation Street viewers think they've figured out what's behind Lisa Swain's recent emotional turmoil, especially after her partner Carla Connor made an urgent and emotional appearance on screen. Fans of the ITV soap have expressed concern over Lisa, believing they've uncovered the source of her growing distress. D.S. Swain first appeared on the cobbles back in 2021. She initially led the investigation into the brutal attack on Nina Lucas and Seb Franklin, a case that ended in tragedy when Seb sadly passed away. Swain later faced criticism from Daisy Midgley after the police failed to catch her obsessive stalker, Justin Rutherford. That failure had devastating consequences when Justin launched a horrific acid attack on Daisy's wedding day, leaving Ryan Connor with life-changing injuries. Later, Swain turned her attention to the hunt for serial killer Stephen Reed, who ultimately met his end when Peter Barlow fatally struck him with a car. She also found herself periodically involved in the case surrounding shady solicitor Joel Deering due to his link with her daughter, Betsy. But since immersing herself more deeply in life on the street last year, Lisa has experienced significant emotional upheaval, culminating in a romantic relationship with Carla Connor, head of the Underworld factory. After finally embracing their growing affection for one another last year, Carla and Lisa rang in the new year side by side, but their joy was quickly shattered when Carla was rushed to hospital and diagnosed with sepsis. The illness meant she needed a kidney transplant, sparking a chain of events that brought her estranged brother, convicted killer Rob Donovan, back into the picture. His return led to a dramatic armed standoff, which ended in tragedy when Lisa's daughter, Betsy Swain, was accidentally shot. Thankfully, Betsy's condition improved, and her paralysis turned out to be temporary. A shocking twist that brought both relief and tension for Carla and Lisa. Though the couple tried to move forward, Betsy's injury had already driven a wedge between them. Just as things began to settle, Lisa was once again rocked emotionally, this time by the heartbreaking loss of her colleague, PC Craig Tinker. The grief echoed that of her late partner Becky, who also died in the line of duty. Overwhelmed by emotion, Lisa surprised Carla with a proposal. Carla gently turned her down, leaving Lisa feeling hurt, until Carla explained she wanted a proposal rooted in love, not sorrow. She even hinted at a whimsical future wedding in Ibiza. To show their commitment, the pair agreed to take a big step forward and move in together, with Betsy's blessing. Fans are now speculating that number 6 Coronation Street may become their new family home, especially since Yasmin Nazir moved out earlier this year. Still, it looks like more twists may lie ahead, as actresses Allison King and Vicky Myers were recently spotted filming dramatic scenes for the beloved soap. Lisa was recently seen looking visibly distressed, sitting alone at the edge of the park until Carla spotted her. Wanting to comfort her shaken partner, Carla approached with concern. But what has left Lisa so emotionally undone? Coronation Street viewers know that Lisa is expected to attend a therapy session soon. The detective sergeant had previously shared her decision to seek professional help following a drag night at the Rovers, a moment that deeply impressed Carla, who told her she was very proud. This emotional journey comes on the heels of Craig's devastating death and Lisa's reassignment to desk duty. The change followed her arrest of Brody Michaelis, who later suffered an epileptic seizure in custody after refusing to reveal what was inside the pills he was carrying. Upcoming Corrie spoilers hint that Carla will do her best to encourage Lisa to see the value in therapy, even as Lisa remains unsure. Despite her doubts, she eventually attends a session, only to be thrown off when the therapist suggests exploring the loss of her late wife, Becky. While it's unclear exactly how these threads will tie together, fans have begun speculating that Lisa may be nearing a breaking point as she's forced to confront her painful history. Coronation Street airs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is available to stream on ITV.